Good day, YouTube. Alan here. We're still at it. Didn't get a video out last week. Running around trying to make a quick buck to keep this project going. Looked at a couple of vehicles, but they were totally roached out. I was hoping it'd be something to quick and easy to flip, if you know what I mean, to put a little money into it and get going, but they were roached straight out. And, yeah, no one else would buy them without a ton of work to them, so big waste of time, but we're still at it here today. Bunch of, on the flip side of things, a lot of parts have showed up that I've ordered. I've got the the adapter plates to mount the engine into the S10 chassis. I've got the rebuild kit for the transmission. We'll get that in there. I've got the parts washer up and running. Transmission sitting in there. Hopefully we'll get some of the parts washed up today, and maybe next week we'll start getting that back together. I just wanted to show you a quick thing. I'm still working on the harness here. Just got back to it. I traced the green wire that was cut, brought it all back up to this point here. As I came along, I've fished it out up into this little harness here, and it comes down to this plug here. Well, in this plug there's another orange wire, or pink wire, comes back up to here, and I was able to trace that out to here. So it slides back and forth, it goes right up here to my green, from there to there. All we gotta do is snip it here, and then we can just pull that whole unit right out of there. And that'll go up here into our discard pile. I've also found a gray wire that comes down in through here. So this can get pulled right out. The glue on this harness is so bad that these wires don't want to slide out as they good. You work them through and they'll come right out. So that comes in and actually goes into this splice, so we're going to pull it out. And we'll trace that back to whichever wire or sensor it goes to and pull it right out of there. A little greasy and oily down here. It goes through a taped junction here, and it goes down to one or two plugs. So the colors on this one, we'll take that tape apart, we'll chase it back. Chances are we're going to bring two wires back out through this way and chase it back the same way and snip a wire here. Reason why I didn't cut all these out, because you're not sure which ones you're going to need, which ones you might want to wait on. So basically you'll fish it out this way, and like I said, I've still got this solid mass that I'm unsure if we're even going to be able to save this. But because it's solid with all this glue from the tape, I may be able to go wire for wire, match it up to how it's orientated, and splice them in this way, peeling each wire off one at a time, making a one wire for wire repair, which is encouraging. The only thing that's discouraging is that twisted wire pack, which I still don't know if I would be able to save. But like I said, it's futile. If we can save it, we can save it. More time than money, I guess. So it's still something to do, still something we're going to try. The vats, we did make progress this week. I've got the LS Droid. There was an update on that. supposedly working better. And I was able to get Tuner Pro to actually load up something. So now I'm real close to getting those vats deleted so I could actually start these up on the engine stand. And once I complete one of these harnesses, get it up, strapped up to one of these bad boys, we'll try and fire one up on the engine stand. So that's coming in. And I've got do some brake work on another man's truck to help facilitate the budget on the rat rod project. And then we need to get that in here mocked up and get started. Got the kinks worked out of my plasma cutter. I thought I got burnt on a cheap plasma cutter from China, but I was able to successfully get it working this morning. If you notice on the filter, there's a little arrow points, and I had my air direction reversed, and I ended up burning up one of my consumables, but it did come with extra consumables, and I've ordered more. So now we've got a good plasma cutter, and may facilitate the extending the footwell, doing a chop to the 46 Dodge there, Project Tetanus Rat. So things are starting to look up, come together. The pieces are coming in. More work than I can do in a course of a weekend most of the time, and I tend to jump around a lot. I've started tearing my tractor apart. I got a bad hydraulic hose on my backhoe unit, and it's a bear to get to. There's 6 hoses running through a little pivot point down at the bottom of the backhoe unit itself, and one of the hydraulic rams is in there with 2 hoses attached with of the 6. So that's what I'm fighting right now, is trying to get those hoses out there so I can replace the one bad one. I may have to disconnect the entire unit and take it apart, physically take the unit apart to get it back together. I don't know how much of a nightmare that'll be. A ton of yard work to do here, so hopefully before the mowing season starts I can get some of this cleaned up and done before we go. So that being said, I'm going to get back at it. We'll see you next time with another update. Hopefully I get you another video in here this week, either cleaning up some of these transmission parts or actually wrapping this up, or the vats delete. Stay tuned, we will have something else, hopefully. So if not, next week the latest. I have found another truck. It's about 2.5 hours south of here. Does have a good transmission, and I believe it's a good motor. It's a good running truck, good solid frame. The body's a little roached out. He's selling it for parts, needs a back bumper. That I may be able to flip or bring it in for the transmission and, you know, sell off a bunch of other parts. I haven't found the module for this gas pedal yet for this harness in that 6.0. So, you know, if I do get that and decide to part it out, I'll probably take the module out of that. I may be able to use the harness also. You know, so if I strip it out and do that, we'll see where it goes. All right, thank you, YouTube. We'll see you next time. Like and subscribe. All right, YouTube, we're back at it again. I got moved the wires further down here, and I've identified these wires as coming down into this section of harness that's been cut. Fortunately, the glue, the edge of the harness is so stiff that these wires are like tree trunks. They're stiff, if you can see that. And because there's that twisted wire pair and the colors, I've determined this is the match where it was cut by looking at the spiraled wire, lining that up and lining the rest of the colors up with what was there. So before proceeding to cut these out, I can go wire for wire and splice each individual wire, then continue pulling these wires out, determining which I need, which I don't, without disturbing this. And if I go wire by wire, splice them all back together, I'll know which ones are which without getting confused, because there's multiple pink wires, multiple grounds, and you want to be sure that you remove and save the correct ones. You know, this is the section that goes off the driver's side down in behind the transmission. The other side does the same, except it goes around the down behind and on the firewall, back up towards your coolant and air sensors. So I just wanted to show you how I was going about to tackle this. I still got pinks attached up here. I did chase some back there and remove some more. Still got my tack module there for there. I pulled some, finished that little section here. This one's still got to be spliced. I did remove the wires out of it. I just zip tied it together, so I know this was the splice that ran down to the starter and down to the alternator and all that. That's all in here. So I just set that out of the way for now. That way I can just focus on this. I may just pull it off the terminals and slide it down here so it's easier for me to work, identify the wires and solder. So I'll have an update on that as soon as I get that far. I just thought I'd bring you along to this fire and see where I've gotten with that. We'll grab a solder gun, some other stuff, and we'll start that, or we'll be washing the transmission. I gotta run, get a new starter wire for my tractor, get that on before the afternoon falls away here. So still moving, still making progress. We'll see you soon.